weather impact alert.
Hello and a good Tuesday morning to all of you watching us live on KREM 2 Plus. I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick. It's December the 10th, just before 10 a.m. here, and we have a KREM 2 weather impact alert day due to fog and icy conditions across portions of eastern and central Washington. So we're going to jump right into it here. So the weather impact today has been on some generally icy conditions, like black ice being laid down on the ground and on the roads due to both freezing fog and now some freezing drizzle, especially for locations just west of Spokane. So Spokane, western Spokane County and into Lincoln and Adams County has been generally where the worst of these weather conditions have been noted this morning. We started off with dense fog advisories. That has actually been canceled early for areas of Lincoln and Adams County. The fog is going away, but now it's starting to just turn over into more of a freezing drizzle for some areas of eastern Washington. We have now winter weather advisories. These got issued just before 8 a.m. this morning. They go until 2 o'clock for this afternoon. Any freezing fog or freezing drizzle or freezing mist, either way, is still going to lead to some decently icy conditions on roadways, particularly for bridges and overpasses. I'm going to still start with the visibility reports because this did start as a foggy issue this morning, and Spokane International Airport still is receiving the worst of these foggy conditions. As we approach 10 a.m., 1/8 of a mile visibility. That's about 600 feet of straight line visibility for any drivers on the roads, or obviously for the airplanes as well. But this is mostly over western Spokane County. You kind of cross Highway 195 and conditions get a lot better into downtown Spokane and then eastward from there. So it is very much a fine line between basically going up the hill, up Sunset Highway, and experiencing a lot foggier and mistier conditions over the West Plains versus downtown Spokane. So I'm going to take you to our radar and visibility map combination here. What you see in this yellow, orange, red shade is actually more of the visibility reports, because Doppler radar is not going to be able to see any of that mist or fog or drizzle that's usually a little bit too fine to be able to see with typical Doppler radar. But because temperatures are below freezing, this is a freezing drizzle, and there would be black ice in some of this region. As we even zoom in on Spokane County, I mean, this is Highway 195, this little yellow line here. And west of that, into Airway Heights, into Cheney and Medical Lake, and along both Highway 2 and I-90 over western Spokane County, that is easily where the worst of these freezing fog and freezing drizzle conditions continue to be seen. You go down the hill towards downtown Spokane, and even here at our South Hill studios at KREM 2, it's actually quite fine. We have not seen any foggy conditions or really any icy conditions whatsoever. So it is basically a hard line in the sand here at Highway 195. You're west of that, and you're getting icy conditions. You're east of that, you're actually pretty much just fine weather-wise. So even though we have the winter weather advisory for the whole of Spokane County, which has to be issued in that manner, we can really break that down even further into saying it's just this side of the county that's getting the worst of the icy conditions. Now to our temperatures. Again, using the airport, 31 degrees in Spokane. You're actually doing much better in Coeur d'Alene at 34 degrees. But look at this, Ritzville, still 27, one of the coldest spots still currently for the inland northwest. As we zoom in over Spokane County, you're going to see that, again, bigger difference. As you're heading westward, even north side of town and towards Airway Heights, you got 31 degrees. You're at 32 in Spokane Valley and even 35 degrees in Liberty Lake. Good to see this out of Valley Ford at 34 degrees, because it looked like Highway 27 was a bit icy this morning as well. Should conditions get above the freezing mark, even by a degree, that can make a bigger difference in terms of where any black ice or icy conditions are being noted. So our weather impact alert day is going to match the winter weather advisory until 2 o'clock for this afternoon. Mind those icy conditions that are going to be on roadways, especially black ice on any bridges or overpasses. Exposed surfaces tend to be the first that freeze over. And then depending on the intensity of any drizzle or mist or fog, then we start seeing side streets and untreated roads follow suit with the icy conditions overall. That is always going to be the priority when we get conditions like this. A freezing fog and drizzle doesn't seem like it's that severe weather-wise, but the black ice for commuters and drivers can be very nasty in a hurry. Basically, if it looks wet outside, if it looks like it's wet on the roadways, just assume it's icy, because those temperatures, again, are about 31 degrees over western Spokane County. On top of that, low visibility can make that all that much more difficult to actually observe these conditions, because black ice tends to be pretty invisible in the first place. If you're driving through the fog, it can be very dangerous very quickly for those locations. Back to those foggy conditions, and I want to show you some of the live pictures outside as, again, we approach 10 a.m. here. This is Sunset Highway as you're going up the hill towards that airport interchange, and it is extremely foggy in this region. Again, with temperatures at 31 degrees, that ice is going to collect on these roadways and bridges, so you would want to be careful. In fact, this would be a bridge that would be more susceptible to these foggy conditions. That would be Highway 902 that crosses over the interstate on your way to Medical Lake. Again, decently foggy, probably about half-mile visibility here. Make sure to turn your headlights to the on position as well. That certainly will help all the visibility for all the drivers on the roadway. But western Spokane County getting hit a lot more severely with the foggy conditions than even downtown, as well as the mountain passes as well. If you're curious about the mountain passes, maybe a little bit damp over Lookout Pass, but you can actually see the sunshine is out at Sherman Pass. This has been noted recently with this current weather pattern that all this fog and cloud cover really is at the lowest layer of the atmosphere. You get up into the mountains and over the mountain passes, you're actually more likely to find some sunshine and actually decently dry conditions the farther up in elevation you go. So it's really just kind of our lower elevation locations that are getting the worst of this. One more note before we finish our live stream here. I just wanted to extend our forecast to include our next chance of snow, which isn't until this Thursday night. All you're going to see on Future Tracker is really just some general cloudiness for the rest of the day today and even tomorrow. Fog will be an as of the morning call for tomorrow morning. It's just almost impossible to forecast that ahead of time. So make sure to join us on Up with Krem starting at 5 a.m. If we do have any more fog for Wednesday morning, we'll make that call as it is. But as we look ahead towards Thursday, this is 8 p.m. Thursday night. Very weak little wave of energy passing through, but it is our next chance for any kind of snow in the inland northwest. This is minor snow showers. It might give us a little dusting, maybe a half an inch of snow at most for some of our low elevations, but this will pass through Thursday night and into Friday morning. Should not be severe, should not be significant, but since our temperatures have been cold enough, any snow should easily stick to the ground pretty quickly since we have been in the 20s and even low 30s all day long. So if you've been curious about when that next chance of snow is going to be, it is Thursday night. It's just not going to be a lot, thankfully so. I don't think we need another bad concern for the morning commute hours. But really for the rest of the day today, the rest of the morning and midday hours primarily, there will be that chance for freezing fog and freezing drizzle and generally icy conditions for some roadways for today. So that's why we have our weather impact alert day for this Tuesday. But looking beyond that, we'll have a by the hour call for any more fog tomorrow morning. What is just going to be a cloudy rest of the week here. Not going to see any sunshine. And yes, you see that chance of snow heading into Thursday night. But just to recap, we are under a winter weather advisory until 2 o'clock this afternoon due to black ice on some roads over western Spokane County. All of eastern Washington under this alert until 2 o'clock for the threat for freezing fog and freezing drizzle into the midday and early afternoon hours. I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thank you very much for joining us on this KREM 2 Plus live stream. Make sure to tune in to KREM 2 News at noon for the very latest weather conditions. And of course, you can stay tuned to KREM 2 on all of our platforms for the latest weather information. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.